All right, how are we doing out there? Welcome to the Uke Like the Pros Masterclass for today. We're going to be talking about how to hold a chord on the ukulele. May seem like a simple thing, but I see a lot of people struggle and have some poor technique. So I'll probably show you a few chords also. Don't forget, we're live, so welcome to everybody joining us here. Feel free to post a question or comment or make a request. I have my computer here and I'll be checking that. Let me just get my screen up, make sure we're live here. All right, and there we are. Okay. So, how to hold a chord. So, you know, the ukulele is basically, you know, it's all about chords and strumming and playing songs and singing and having a good time. So being able to hold a chord is one of the most important things we need to do. So I'm going to give you a couple of tricks today on how to do it. We're going to start with a C chord. And the great thing about the C chord, especially the one I'm playing, is that it's just a one-finger chord, meaning you only need one finger of your left hand. Of course, if you're left-handed, it would be your right hand, but your fretting hand, we'll call it, to play a string. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to be on the first string, 3rd fret, with my 3rd finger or my ring finger. So I got fingers 1 or index, 2 or middle, 3 or ring, and then 4 or the pinky. Notice the thumb we don't really use because it's our support finger. So my 3rd finger here is going to be on the 1st string, 3rd fret, just count up, 1, 2, 3, and then I have the open 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Okay, let me just give you my tuning notes here real quick. Here's my A string on my 1st string, my 2nd string or E, my 3rd string C, and my 4th string G, which I have a low G on this particular ukulele. If you have a high G, doesn't matter. It's perfect for this lesson. All right, so C. When I play my C chord, let's talk about how I'm going to play it with my 3rd finger here. What I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm actually playing on my fingertip. Okay? So the tip of the finger as opposed to what I like to call the pad of the finger. Okay? What happens if you play on the pad of the finger, sometimes that finger hits other strings and you get that muted sound. But by playing on my fingertip, I'm ensuring that that finger is only going to be playing the string that I want it to, which is the 1st string. Okay? That way it allows the other open strings to ring out clearly. Now the other thing you want to do is, where do you want to place your finger? Notice we have a lot of space in between this fret. Do we want to place it back towards the 2nd fret, in the middle, up towards the 3rd fret, maybe on top of the 3rd fret? Okay? The correct answer for this is right up next to the 3rd fret. Okay? The reason is, one, it's easiest place to push down and get a nice sound. Okay? 2, it just sounds the fullest, it sounds the best when you place it there. Now, what happens if you're getting this sound, this muted sound? Okay, it could be a couple things. One, you're just simply not pressing down hard enough on the string. Okay, so remember, on the fingertip, you got to press down hard enough so you get that nice, clear sound. 2, another finger may be touching that string. In this case, we're not happening, but let's say by accident if my pinky stretched up, it doesn't matter how much I'm pressing down on my 3rd finger, I'm not going to get a sound. Or, another common thing is you're actually on top of the fret. Notice, if I'm on top of the fret, it doesn't matter if I'm on the 3rd fret, or the 2nd fret, or the 1st fret. No matter how hard I push down, I cannot get that note to ring out clearly. So I have to make sure that I'm slightly behind the fret, pressing down, and getting that nice rounded sound. Okay, so there's your C chord. Okay, a good way to practice every chord, whether it's a one-finger chord or other chord, is to arpeggiate all the notes. make sure each one is ringing out clearly. If you get something like this, okay, that thud sound, you know something's wrong. Okay, you're not pressing down hard enough, a finger is hitting another string or something. So each chord we try here, make sure you can arpeggiate it. All right, I see Chris is here. Hey, Chris, how you doing? All right, so that's using your third finger. Let me give you another chord that uses a different finger so you can practice. How about if we just used our middle finger or our second finger, and I went up to the 4th string, 2nd fret, and all I do is I press just that string, 4th string, 2nd fret, and then I leave the 3rd string, the 2nd string, and the 1st string open. That's A minor. And again, you want to do the same thing if you're using a different finger. Always play on the tip of your finger, not the pad. You want to play right up next to the fret, not on top of it, not too far behind it. And you want to give it a nice pressure. All right, another thing I haven't mentioned because it doesn't affect us so much on the C chord, but it does on the A minor. Even if I'm playing on my fingertip, what happens if I do this? Notice my knuckles, they flattened out. So every time I do any chord, whether I'm just doing a 1-finger chord or a chord that requires more than 1 finger, I want to keep my knuckles bent. Okay, so notice my knuckle here is bent, my knuckle here. Not straight, so not a flat knuckle, but bent. The reason for that is if I keep it flat, what's going to happen is this is going to roll down and it's going to hit other strings and mute them out. Okay? So we want to make sure we play on our fingertip, nice rounded knuckles, and that way it gives clearance to that string and then all the strings below it. Okay? So let's practice those 2 chords, just C to A minor. Okay? So C, 2 to A minor. We're going to do each one for 2 beats. Okay? Those are half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just got C, 2 to A minor. You want real nice, clean sounding chords. 2, 3. So if you get any kind of uh-oh, what happened? That thud sound, right? So you want to just look at your finger. Oh, what happened here? Well, my knuckles are flat. I'm not playing on my fingertip. Once I clean that up, I round that out. Okay. The other thing that I see problems with is that notice between my finger, my hand here, there's a nice space here between my hand and the bottom of the ukulele neck. Okay? What I see some people doing is this. They close that space up. The thumb comes way too far over the neck, and then it makes it real hard to switch and play chords cleanly. Okay, so if I drop that thumb down a little bit on the neck, it opens up the space. Did you see that? If I just drop my thumb down, it creates a little bit of space, allowing my fingers to easily access these particular strings. Just simple as that. Okay? Also, let's talk about this. This is another common problem I see. The elbow. I see a lot of people with their elbow way far in like this, or maybe out like that. Notice, either way, if I have my elbow too far in or too far out, notice my wrist here. See this awkward position my wrist is in? How it's bent here? You're just asking for trouble down the road if you practice like that, because you're putting a lot of strain right here on your wrist, and you don't want to have any kind of injury. But notice, if I keep my wrist straight here, and my thumb, then look at my wrist now. Sure, it's going to bend a little bit on certain chords, but notice it's fairly flat and straight. Not like this. This is not what you want. Okay? All right, so let's go back to those 2 chords we learned. C to A minor. 2, 3, and so we got C, 2 to A minor. Remember, these are half notes. I'm just using my thumb for these. It's not about the right hand today. It's just about the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, crisp sounding chords. All right, I'm going to give you a couple more chords. So these are like our 1-finger chords. There's not a whole lot of them on the ukulele, but So we got C, we got A minor. Here's the next one. It's A7. Okay, so all I have to do is I have open 4th string, and my first finger here is on the 3rd string, 1st fret, and I'm using my index on my 1st finger, and then open 2nd string, open 1st string. Now this is a great one because your 1st finger could accidentally touch the 4th string and mute it out, or it could actually touch the 2nd string and mute it out. So this one is really clear that you got to make sure you have your knuckles bent, playing on your fingertip, and notice this one's really important for this gap right here between your hand and the ukulele. Okay, because if I close that gap up, notice my finger's going to droop down and mute out that 2nd string. So thumb down, playing on the fingertip, nice clean sound. Try the arpeggio. As I mentioned, that just means playing each string individually of the chord. Do they all ring out clearly? If they don't, you know what to check for. Fingertip, hand drooping, making sure you're pressing down hard enough, and also that you're not playing right on the fret. Okay? So that's A7. Let's go from A7 to C. 2, 3, 4. So A7. Remember half notes again to C. A7 to C. A7 to C. One more time. A7 to C. Alright, so those are some one-finger chords. Chris just brought up a good point. Fingernails, that's a good point. That is another common thing I see problems with. When you're playing on your fingertip, notice it is going to require my fingernail that would actually touch the string. So what happens if my fingernails are too long? Well, I don't have long fingernails on this hand, but I do on my right hand. What's going to happen is your fingernail is going to hit before the tip of your finger. Okay, so that makes it tough, especially if you have long fingernails or if you have fake fingernails on. That is going to make it tough. Now, I will say you do not have to necessarily go out and cut your fingernails off. And here's why. There's a great Dolly Parton video out there, and she's playing Hee Haw, the old TV show. And she's playing a beautiful song where she's finger picking the whole time. In the song, her fingernails are long, and she's able to perfectly articulate each string and note on the guitar. So it's not a deal breaker if you have long nails, but it makes it a little bit easier if you can trim your fingernails down. And I just keep them just where you don't see them above the tip. They're pretty short on this hand. Okay, so that's a good question. All right, so let's do a few more chords here before I'll let you go. What happens if we have a chord that has 2 fingers now? So we did 1-finger chords. What happens if we use 2 fingers? Let's just take the F chord. That's a fairly simple chord to play. It starts off just like the A minor. That's your 2nd finger here on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And all I have to do is take my index finger, my 1st finger, and add it to the 2nd string, 1st fret. And that's it. So I have 2nd fret of the 4th string, open 3rd string, 1st fret of the 2nd string, and then open 1st string. And that's your F chord. Same rules apply even if you have 2 fingers. Rounded knuckles, playing on the fingertips. Both fingers have to be right up next to the fret, not on top of it, not too far behind it. And then keeping your thumb in about the middle to upper part of the neck, not too high, so you get that nice space here in between the hand. Alright, so that's the F chord. Again, arpeggiate it. Make sure that you get each string to ring out nice and clear. Alright, so let's do a 3-chord progression now. A minor, F to C. Alright, and then C again. Okay, so A minor 2 beats, F for 2 beats, and C for 2 beats, but we'll do that one twice. Here we go. 2, A minor first, 3, 4. So A minor to F now C. C again. That's a nice progression, actually. So A minor chord, F, and C. 2. One more time for A minor. Nice and clear. Notice how all my chords are nice and clear. Ring it out. I'm getting no thuds on any of those strings. All right, and I'm going to show you one more chord today. What about if you have a chord that has 3 fingers? And this one comes from my friend Chris here that actually just emailed me this morning about this, so I wanted to go ahead and throw this in. E minor. So this particular E minor uses 3 fingers. First finger, second finger, and your third finger. Okay, so my first finger goes here on the first string, second fret. My second or my middle finger goes on the second string, third fret. And now my ring finger, which is the first time we're using this today, is going on the third string, fourth fret. So I got fourth fret, third fret, second, and then I'm keeping the open fourth string for this particular shape. That's E minor. Same rules apply that we've been talking about all video. Rounded knuckles on every finger. Playing on the fingertip of every finger. Keeping that thumb not too high on the neck and creating that nice space with your hand and keeping that wrist fairly straight, not too much pressure. Remember, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on these chords to make them sound good. Alright, so that's E minor. Again, arpeggiate it. You get all the notes ringing out clearly. If you're getting any kind of thud, again, it could be you're not pressing down hard enough. You could be playing on top of the fret. Or another finger could be drooping down and hitting that string. So E minor. Okay, and then here's a cool shape and a cool kind of way to practice. If you just take all 3 of those fingers and just move each one up a string, you get a new chord, which is our B7 chord. So all I'm doing is going from my E minor and moving my first finger up to the second string, second fret, move my third finger up to the third string, third fret, and my ring finger up to the fourth string, fourth fret. And that's a B7 chord. I'm keeping the first string open on this one. So you can go E minor to the B7. And this is going to give you practice just moving these shapes up and down on the different string sets. 4, so 1, 2, 3. So here we go. Let's do it again. I'll count you in this time. E minor to B7, 2 beats each. 1, 2, 3, 4. So E minor to the B7, 4. E minor to B7, and E minor to B7, E minor to B7. All right, so that's on a lot of tips on how to hold a chord, both 1 finger, 2 finger, and the 3 finger chords. All right, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.